This human battleship was too powerful. The galaxy had to ban it. But nothing had ever prepared them for humans. On the edge of the Andara system, the Interstellar Expo was buzzing with excitement. Representatives from over 100 species had gathered. There were species with 6 limbs, species with translucent bodies, species that communicated through light flashes. All had come to see the latest in technological achievements. Yet the crowd fell silent when a massive shadow blocked the stars. A human battleship had arrived. Not just any battleship, but the Dauntless. The ship was enormous, its hull sleek and polished to a metallic sheen that reflected the light of distant suns. Its shape was strange, almost organic, curving in ways that seemed impossible to engineers from other worlds. Yet every curve and edge had a purpose. This was not just a machine, it was a statement. Ambassadors whispered among themselves. "Is that safe?" one asked. His voice was trembling. He had seen supernovas, black holes, and weapons that could tear moons apart. Yet this human vessel inspired a fear unlike anything he had known. Captain Alina Vance, the human commander, stood on the bridge of the Dauntless, watching the alien delegates through the wide observation deck. She smiled faintly. Humans had always been underestimated. And now, as always, she intended to prove them wrong. "Prepare for docking," she said. Her voice was calm, confident. "And remember, we're here to demonstrate, not to fight." Her first officer, a young man named Tarek, nodded. "Sir, the aliens are already uneasy. They've never seen anything like this." Alina laughed softly. "Good, let them be uneasy. They will see what humans can do." The ship descended into the docking bay of the Expo station. Hundreds of eyes followed it, some in awe, some in fear. When it settled, its massive doors opened smoothly, revealing the bustling interior. Humans poured out. They did not march like soldiers, nor did they swagger like conquerors. They moved with purpose, with curiosity. Children among them carried small robotic assistants that zipped through the crowds, scanning, learning, and sharing information. Scientists carried devices that could analyze alien atmospheres, translate languages instantly, or map uncharted space in moments. Alien delegates whispered again. "Their technology, it's too advanced, too unpredictable." A floating creature named Vrekthal, whose body pulsed with a soft blue light, hovered forward. "Captain Alina Vance, we are pleased to meet you. We have heard remarkable reports." Alina bowed slightly. "Thank you. We are here to share what we have learned and to learn from you in return." The aliens did not know what to expect. Humans had a reputation for being clever, but cleverness was not usually accompanied by overwhelming capability. This, however, was different. The demonstration began. A small asteroid had been marked near the Expo station. No one knew why it had been selected, but humans insisted it was part of the show. The asteroid was jagged, dangerous, and moving slightly off course. Several alien fleets had tried to intercept it before, but all had failed. Alina activated the ship's external systems. Tiny drones buzzed out from the Dauntless, forming a coordinated pattern around the asteroid. They scanned, calculated, and analyzed the asteroid's trajectory in seconds. Then, with a gentle push using the ship's gravimetric manipulators, the asteroid's path was altered. It moved safely into orbit around a nearby uninhabited planet. No explosions, no destruction, just a smooth, elegant adjustment that left the audience gasping. This is impossible," whispered a scientist from the Rilquin species, whose 3 heads rotated in shock. "They did it without breaking a single piece of equipment." Alina smiled at the reaction. "Humans solve problems differently. We don't always destroy obstacles. Sometimes we guide them." Next came the rescue demonstration. A derelict cargo ship drifting through the void was simulated to be in danger. The humans launched a small probe which docked with the ship automatically. Within moments, the humans aboard the Dauntless had repaired the engines, restored life support, and safely guided the cargo ship to the expo station. Alien delegates were stunned. Many species relied on large fleets of specialized ships for even simple repairs. Humans had done it with one battleship, a few small drones, and their own ingenuity. Such efficiency, Vrechthel murmured. It should not be possible. Alina tilted her head. Efficiency is only the beginning. Humans adapt. We find solutions where others see dead ends, and we don't always follow the rules. The final demonstration was simple, yet terrifying in its implications. A simulation of a collapsed space tunnel, a natural phenomenon that could trap an entire fleet, was activated. Alien ships could not pass. They would have been trapped for weeks. The Dauntless entered. Its hull shimmered with adaptive shields, and the ship's AI, named Argo, mapped a safe path in seconds. With quiet precision, it guided itself and the alien ships through the collapse. No ship was damaged, no lives lost. The room fell silent. Then came applause, hesitant at first, then growing. Humans had not fought anyone. They had not destroyed anything. They had simply solved problems that every alien species had considered impossible. Alina stepped forward. We are not here to dominate. We are here to explore, to help, and to learn. But if you underestimate humans, you may find us unpredictable. Some delegates tried to hide it, but fear was clear in their eyes. The Dauntless was not just a battleship. It was a symbol. Humans were no longer just another species. They were an unknown variable, one the galaxy could not control. After the expo, discussions began behind closed doors. The Galactic Council convened urgently. Species that prided themselves on power and technology were nervous. The idea that a single human ship could outperform fleets, solve complex problems effortlessly, and adapt in ways that no algorithm could predict was disturbing. One council member argued, "We cannot allow this. If humans are left unchecked, they will dominate every sector of space, not by violence but by intellect." Another disagreed. "No, they are not aggressive. They help. They solve problems. Should we punish innovation?" But doubt lingered. What if humans' cleverness turned to something more dangerous? What if their ingenuity could not be matched, could not be stopped? Meanwhile, back on the Dauntless, Alina walked through the ship's corridors. Engineers were calibrating systems, children were exploring labs, and Argo, the AI, was humming softly, calculating, analyzing, learning. "We made them nervous," Tarek said quietly. Alina nodded. "Good, let them be nervous. Humans thrive on challenges. The galaxy underestimates us, and that is always their mistake." Outside the ship, the stars shone quietly. No one knew what humans would do next. The galaxy had faced mighty fleets, unstoppable weapons, and brilliant scientists. But it had never faced a species that combined ingenuity, courage, and ethical cleverness in one. And it would take some time before anyone realized the full power of that combination. The Dauntless rested quietly at the expo, gleaming under the lights. Inside, humans moved calmly, unaware of the storm of fear and awe they had unleashed. They were explorers, problem solvers, and pioneers. And soon, the galaxy would learn that some limits were not meant to be tested. They were meant to be surpassed. The expo had ended, but the ripples of the Dauntless' arrival were far from over. Across the galaxy, alien leaders, scientists, and politicians whispered about the humans' new battleship. Some were in awe, while others were filled with unease. The question on everyone's mind was the same. How could one species build something so powerful, so unstoppable without being aggressive? In the Grand Council Hall of the Galactic Alliance, representatives from dozens of worlds gathered. Holograms of humans, alien fleets, and the asteroid demonstration replayed continuously. Murmurs filled the room, growing louder with each passing moment. Vrechthel floated forward, its glowing body pulsing with urgency. "Captain Alina Vance, the Council requests a full report on your ship's capabilities. They wish to understand your intentions." Alina leaned back in her chair, calm and composed. I have already explained our purpose. The Dauntless is built for exploration, problem-solving, and defense, not conquest. Our aim is to help, not harm. A council member, a tall, insectoid species called Cralvin, clicked its mandibles nervously. Help! You underestimate the potential of your ship. One vessel can perform tasks that an entire fleet cannot. It is unbalanced, dangerous. Alina's eyes narrowed slightly, though her tone remained polite. Balance is not always achieved through strength alone. Sometimes balance comes from intelligence and ingenuity. Another representative, a gelatinous being named Yelrin, shimmered angrily. Intelligence is irrelevant if it cannot be contained. What will stop humans from using this technology to dominate us? One ship can outmaneuver, outthink, and outmatch our entire defense systems. The room erupted into debate. Some delegates argued that humans were ethical, that they had demonstrated no aggression. Others feared the unpredictable nature of human ingenuity. By the time the council voted, the decision was clear. Humans must be restricted. Ships like the Dauntless would be banned. Word of the ban reached Earth immediately. News stations buzzed with reports. Humans were confused. Why would the galaxy ban a ship that saves lives and explores space? Citizens asked. Alina watched the council's decision unfold on a monitor aboard the Dauntless. She did not flinch. They fear what they do not understand, she said softly. They fear humans because we are unpredictable, but that will not stop us from doing what is right. Her first officer, Tarek, frowned. Captain, they are serious. The ban could escalate into restrictions on human technology everywhere. They may try to isolate us. Alina shook her head. Then we will prove them wrong. The galaxy cannot stop human ingenuity, not with threats, not with rules. The first challenge came sooner than expected. A distress signal blinked on the ship's console. A remote colony on the icy planet Glacier 7 was trapped under a sudden, shifting glacier. The local rescue teams could not reach them in time. Alina and her crew launched immediately. The Dauntless soared through the frozen skies. Using adaptive heat shields and grappling drones, the ship navigated treacherous crevasses. Alien rescue teams, observing from a distance, were astonished. They had tried for days to reach the colony. Humans did it in hours, saving hundreds of lives. News of the rescue spread across the galaxy. Humans were hailed as heroes, but their fame only made other species more nervous. If they can save entire colonies in hours, one alien official muttered, what else could they do if they wanted to? The council convened again. Vrechthal argued for patience. Humans show no aggression. We should observe, not restrict. Cralvin clicked its mandibles furiously. Observe while they surpass us in every technological achievement. That is not observation, it is submission. Tensions rose. Some species began lobbying for stricter measures. Satellites tracking human ships were increased. Spaceports were scrutinized. Any human technology that surpassed local designs was cataloged, studied, and restricted. But humans were not easily confined. While the council debated, the Dauntless continued its mission. A rogue comet was discovered, hurtling toward a densely populated system. Alien fleets tried to redirect it using brute force, but the comet's trajectory was too erratic. Humans arrived quietly. The Dauntless released a network of drones, each calculating gravitational adjustments in real time. In a stunning display of precision, the comet was guided safely into orbit around an uninhabited planet. No ships were lost, no lives endangered. Witnessing this, many alien representatives were torn. On one hand, humans were undeniably brilliant. On the other, the realization that one ship could outmatch fleets caused panic. Meanwhile, the council decided to send inspectors to the Dauntless. A delegation of alien engineers and officials arrived aboard, ready to examine every system, every protocol. Alina welcomed them. You are free to inspect. You will see that nothing here is destructive by intent. Everything is designed to explore, protect, and solve problems. The inspectors were stunned. Ships from their own civilizations relied on overwhelming power to solve problems. Humans relied on adaptability, creativity, and quick thinking. Every system, from navigation to life support, was modular, intuitive, and capable of improvisation. "This is remarkable," admitted Yelrin. "I have never seen technology so versatile, so intelligent." Alina smiled faintly. "Humans do not simply build machines. We build ideas. We solve problems in ways no formula can predict." Yet fear persisted. Even as humans demonstrated ethics, cleverness, and usefulness, the Council could not shake the worry that such power was impossible to control. Tensions peaked when a simulated conflict test was arranged. Aliens hoped to prove the ship's limits. A complex maze of asteroid fields, energy storms, and mechanical obstacles was constructed. The Dauntless entered calmly, navigating each challenge effortlessly. Drones repaired simulated damages, mapped new paths, and adapted instantly to changes. By the end, humans had completed tasks that fleets of alien ships had failed to achieve over weeks. The alien inspectors left shaken. "It is too capable," Vrechthal admitted reluctantly. "We cannot allow a single species to possess such advantage." The Council's ban was finalized. The Dauntless was forbidden from operating outside human-controlled space. Its technology was to be catalogued, but replication or upgrade beyond current specifications was prohibited. On Earth, the humans reacted with a mixture of confusion and calm determination. No one protested violently. Instead, scientists, engineers, and children began exploring alternative solutions, finding clever ways to continue their mission without directly violating the ban. Alina addressed her crew. "They think rules can limit us. They think they can stop progress, but rules are only words. Human ingenuity cannot be banned. We adapt, we improvise, we overcome." Even under restriction, the Dauntless continued to save lives, explore uncharted regions, and inspire awe across the galaxy. It became clear that humans could not be contained. In secret, humans began developing new modules, hidden AI protocols, and exploration drones designed to operate beyond the Council's reach. Every project emphasized cleverness over force. Each success reminded the galaxy that human potential was not measured in weapons or fleet size, but in creativity, ethics, and resilience. One evening, Alina stood on the observation deck, looking at the stars. "They wanted to ban us," she said softly. "But humans are not defined by bans. We are defined by what we do, and what we do is extraordinary." Tarek joined her. "Do you think they will ever accept us?" Alina smiled. "Some will, some won't, but it does not matter. Humans do not wait for permission. We act, we explore, we solve. And in time, the galaxy will understand that our way is not a threat, it is a gift." As the stars shifted outside the viewport, the Dauntless glided silently through space. Even under restriction, it remained unstoppable. Every maneuver, every rescue, every challenge completed without aggression reinforced a single truth. The galaxy had never faced anything like humanity. And no ban could change that. The galaxy had officially banned ships like the Dauntless. The Council's decree was clear. Humans could not deploy vessels beyond their own territory. Their technology could be catalogued but could not be enhanced or replicated in ways that outmatched existing fleets. Most species believed the ban would curb human influence. They were wrong. Captain Alina Vance stood on the bridge of the Dauntless, watching the stars stretch past the hull. The silence of space was different from the noise of the Galactic Council. Here, humans were free. Free to explore, free to solve problems, and free to prove that no law, no rule, and no decree could limit ingenuity. "We follow the ban, technically," Alina said to her first officer, Tarek. But that does not mean we stop helping or stop exploring. Tarek frowned. Some may call it bending the rules. Alina smiled faintly. Some may, but humans do not wait for permission to do what is right. The first mission under the ban arrived almost immediately. A distant research station in the Nereid cluster had gone dark. Communications were lost, and no alien fleet dared approach due to volatile gas clouds surrounding the station. It was a natural hazard, not a threat, but the Council had forbidden any human ship from interfering. Alina convened her crew in the strategy room. "We will go," she said. "The station's scientists are not our enemies. They need help. Our mission is to save lives, not to fight anyone." "But the Council," Tarek began. "The Council is afraid of human capability," Alina interrupted. "We are not here to prove them wrong. We are here to do what must be done." The Dauntless slipped past observation satellites and patrol fleets with precision. Its sleek design and AI Argo allowed it to move silently through hazards that would have grounded any alien vessel. Humans deployed autonomous drones to map the gas clouds and identify safe pathways. Within hours, the ship reached the station. Inside, the scientists were trapped by a failed life support system. The humans worked efficiently, repairing critical systems, redirecting power and stabilizing the structure. By the time alien fleets could have even planned a rescue, all scientists were safe, and the station was operational again. When word reached the galaxy, it caused confusion. Humans had disobeyed the ban, yet no harm was done. No attack, no violation of sovereignty, just a perfectly executed rescue. Many council members were left speechless. Vrechthal, once an ardent critic of humans, admitted quietly to another delegate, "They do not act for conquest, they act for reason, and still, they are unstoppable." The humans were not satisfied with simply following rules cleverly. They began deploying small, self-sufficient probes, disguised as research satellites, to map unexplored regions. These probes sent back data, discovered new planets, and even identified natural dangers before alien civilizations could respond. Each probe worked independently but shared knowledge instantly with the Dauntless. The galaxy watched, frustrated and impressed. For every restriction imposed, humans found a non-violent solution. Rules could guide them, but they could not contain human creativity. The Council called another emergency meeting. Cralvin spoke first, its mandibles clicking in irritation. "We have banned these ships, yet they continue to influence systems beyond their borders. They ignore our authority." Yelrin added, "They are unpredictable. No formula, no regulation, no fleet can anticipate their actions. They solve problems that no one else can, and they do it without aggression." A younger delegate from the Avril species hesitated before speaking. "Perhaps we have underestimated humans. They do not act like conquerors. Perhaps their power is not a threat but an advantage if approached carefully." This was the beginning of change. Alien civilizations realized that humans were not bound by traditional measures of power. They did not rely on overwhelming numbers, energy weapons, or political coercion. Humans relied on ingenuity, ethics, and adaptability. Months passed. The Dauntless quietly continued its missions. It repaired collapsed habitats, rescued trapped colonies, and discovered new resources for starving planets. Every success showcased human brilliance without violating the spirit of the ban. Even the most skeptical species began to admire humans. They realized that these humans had created solutions where no one else could. Their ship, once feared as too powerful, became legendary for its efficiency and ingenuity. One day, a crisis arrived in the outer rim of the galaxy. A massive solar flare threatened to wipe out communications across several inhabited star systems. Alien fleets scrambled to find solutions, but their conventional methods were failing. Alina activated the Dauntless, advanced solar shields, and coordinated a network of drones to redirect charged particles safely around the systems. In hours, communications were restored and no planet was damaged. Reports spread quickly. Humans have done what no fleet could do. Again, said one astonished diplomat. At the Galactic Council, discussions shifted. Fear slowly turned to respect. Even those who had wanted the ban began to see humans as allies, not threats. Vrechthal, addressing the council, admitted, "Perhaps we judged too quickly. Humans act unpredictably, but always ethically. Their strength lies not in weapons, but in cleverness, courage, and problem-solving." The council could not revoke the ban officially, but its power had diminished. Humans no longer needed approval to act morally. Their reputation was enough. Alina stood on the observation deck, gazing at distant stars. Tarek joined her. "Do you think they will ever fully trust us?" Alina shook her head. "Some may never trust humans, but it does not matter. We do not need universal approval. Our actions speak for themselves. That is how humans leave a mark." And leave a mark they did. Across the galaxy, humans became synonymous with solutions that no one else could create. They were remembered not for fighting, not for domination, but for ingenuity and courage. On an uncharted planet, far from any council monitoring station, the Dauntless quietly prepared for its next mission. Drones buzzed like small metallic insects, gathering data. AI programs calculated, adapted, and learned. Humans trained, planned, and prepared to face challenges that others could not imagine. Alina smiled. "The galaxy thinks it can limit us. It cannot. Humans do not wait for permission to explore, to help, or to solve problems. And we will continue, as long as there are challenges to meet." The stars stretched endlessly, and beyond the light of known worlds, new mysteries waited. Comets, abandoned colonies, collapsing stars, and lost civilizations, each challenge an opportunity for human ingenuity to shine. Even as alien civilizations debated, feared, and admired, humans simply acted. They built, explored, repaired, and discovered. No weapon, no fleet, no law could stop them. Not because they were violent, but because they were clever, adaptable, and ethical. By the end of the year, the galaxy understood an uncomfortable truth. The Dauntless and its human crew could not be banned from influence, even if the Council tried. They had proven that power was not measured in firepower, but in problem-solving, ethics, and intelligence. Humans had left an indelible mark. Every rescue, every exploration, and every clever maneuver became part of galactic history. Stories of human brilliance spread faster than any fleet, faster than any technology, faster than fear. And in quiet corners of space, the Dauntless glided silently, ready for the next challenge. Its crew knew that no law could define them. Humans were explorers, thinkers, and problem solvers. They were unpredictable, unstoppable, and unforgettable. The galaxy had tried to ban them, but humans did not need permission to excel. They did not need approval to inspire. They simply acted, and in doing so, reminded every civilization of one simple truth: where humans go, impossible becomes possible.